Welcome back, friends, to another City of Final Fantasy Opera Omni video. Tired Lids here, 87, and I want to welcome you guys to another video. This is a Are They Worth It video, but in a little bit of a different format because life update. We closed on the house the day before making this video, so we've been going to the house to prepare, taking out the baseboards, filling in holes. We're gonna go freaking sand down with sandpaper tomorrow and then prep it. We're gonna prime it, paint, all that wonderful stuff that comes to moving into a new living space. So to say, and work has been busy, so I apologize for this format that you guys are seeing. The next one will be better. It's just, I'm just trying to give you guys at least something, or at least my 2 cents before Squall's weapons debut. On that note, on July 30th UTC time, we will be seeing Squall's LD and Burst on the global side of the game, guys. The Burst era is here. If you guys are not familiar with these, with what they are, I did just make a video in regards to picking the first, like from the first 18 units, which ones to chase after. But on these banners, though, once this goes live, there's going to be 2 banners, which we'll talk about in a moment near the tail end of this video. But both of those banners, we should be getting 1 free multi-draw, so it should be 2 opportunities to potentially get his LD or Burst weapons for free. Good luck, guys. Seriously, good luck if you guys get it for free. Hey, awesome, amazing. I keep punching the shit out of my mic. I'm doing a lot of hand movements. I don't know what to do with my hands. But let's talk about Squall just right away. All right. So now, for those not familiar with Squall, if you're a little bit new to the game, if you're not familiar with Squall in this game, Squall, what he pretty much does, he's a selfish melee attacker in that form. Like, he really doesn't bring party utility until we talk about his burst effect. So like, his primary buffs are Solitary Line and Lionheart, which buff himself with Solitary Line. He'll raise his own Brave, Max Brave, and attacks. Lionheart, it can stack all the way up to 3 if you happen to be EX plus 2 out of 3, which will raise his Max Brave and attack. And now with his LD, now if you happen to pick up his LD weapon, and what this will do, there's a new buff in here called Roaring Hammer 1, 2, 3. Now, every time you use Rough Divide, his LD ability, this will give him 1 stack of Roaring Hammer. And it says 2 use counts right here. The third one is normally, this is, you're going to see a common trend with LD weapons, is on the 3 out of 3 limit break. That's where you get the extra use. So there's going to be 3 uses total. So by the time you use this on the 3rd time, then he'll be at max stacks, which he will gain access to 60% attack and increase stolen Brave Overflow by 30%, which is going to help out his damage a lot, especially with his Razukugan, which is 100% AoE damage. It really doesn't have a lot of AoE HP damage, so any form of overflow to this is going to help him out a lot, so to say. Now, along with this, he will deal 80% HP damage to non-targets, so he's still doing what he does, but even better now with another buff built into his LD weapon, his LD passives. Now let's take a look at his limit breaks. You know, limit break 1, increase the attack. 2 out of 3 raises his own attack. Roaring Hammer duration +8, so he's having this for quite a bit in combat, which is pretty nice. +8, that's a lot, because what is it? 8 turns. Duration plus, gosh damn, 16 turns. All right, that's not a typo, is that? That's a long time. That's very good, actually. I didn't realize it was that long. So that's good either way. That means you're gonna have these buffs for a very long time. Now, if this expires for some reason, you do not lose the buff. The buff persists even after it expires. So that means if you're at Roaring Hammer 1 and it expires when you use his Rough Divide, you will be at Roaring Hammer 2, so on and so forth, all the way to max 3 stacks. Now, if you happen to take him to 3 out of 3, which you should be doing now with LD weapon lids, can I cheap out and leave him 2 out of 3? No, don't skimp out on LD weapons. Max him out, because if you have his EX Plus fully maxed out, stat-wise, that's stronger. Don't skimp out on LD weapons, guys. It requires Power Stones. Max them out, especially if you're going to be using said character on your party. Max out the LD weapon, equip the passive so you can get all this wonderful stuff. Now, at 3 out of 3, this is the best part. He becomes a very good auto farmer because he gains access to his HP attack ++. I really wish he had this a lot sooner, truth be told, because like after Squall got his EX Plus, there was units that came out not that long after. It is power creep. It's a mobile game that got better HP attack ++s. than Squall, but this, I wish he had this quite a while ago, but this will deal 50% HP damage to non-targets. So great auto farmer. I used him a lot for auto farming on the JP side of the game. Excuse me. Now, let's take a look at his burst weapon. Now, so his LD, it's great, it's awesome. It increases his damage potency that much more with Roaring Hammer. It gives him access to his HP attack plus for auto farming. Great, beautiful, wonderful. I like it. More attack, further, gosh damn, 2/4, 60% more attack. So you guys are seeing, right? He's becoming even better at what he does. Now with his burst weapon. Now, again, like I did mention this in my video, and I'm going to probably repeat this quite often when we do talk about a burst weapon on a banner, is that burst weapons are the cherry on top. Do not chase these things unless it is a very powerful burst effect. If it's a very strong character, like they go above and beyond like lightning, which we will talk about in another video, or if they are your waifu / husbando. Other than that, do not chase these things. LD weapons is where the power is at. Okay? That being said, Squall's burst effect, I actually do like it. It's very interesting. So 4 turns party-wide burst effect. So that means every time when it's Squall's turn, this will go down by 1. So your other party members, they can act as many times as they want. They can still take effect of this burst effect because it is party-wide. Now, when using abilities that deal HP damage to non-targets, increases HP damage dealt to main target by 50%. So what that means is Renzo Kugan, right? It does the AoE HP damage. The target that you are focusing on will get 50% more HP damage to that one target. Now, I did test this out on the JP side. If there's like one enemy or multiple enemies, this still works even if there's one enemy. If you're fighting just one enemy, let's say you kill off one boss and there's one boss left, that enemy will still get the extra 50% HP damage. So if you have a party of AoE attackers, this is a nice way to increase their damage towards that single target, especially if it's not 100% AoE damage, if it's like split, because you're not doing as much damage as you can do to the main target. This is going to help that out a lot. So if you happen to pick up this burst weapon, just know that even if there's just one enemy, they will still increase the HP damage by 50%. It's not a bad burst effect at all, so to say it's going to help increase the damage. But again, stick to the LDs if you can. It's not a bad burst weapon, and we'll talk about if you guys should be chasing this in a moment. Now, another thing about this is that Auron should be getting a rework on here, and if you're not familiar with Auron, what he does is he is the only one that comes into my head that has something called melee resist down. Now, what this does is when he attacks an enemy, he can inflict a melee resist down, which will increase the damage done by melee units, not magic units. Magic or ranged cannot take advantage of this unless they bring someone who does like physical resist down. Then range is physical type damage, but only melee units will take advantage of this. Guess who is melee? Who does melee damage? Squall. So pair them up together, they will go beautifully well together. Auron does do some splash damage and 100% full HP damage to all targets. So if you happen to pick up Squall's burst, he could take full advantage of Squall's burst effect, especially like as the boss is getting closer to dying, you're going to be dishing out that much more damage towards that enemy. So Auron is not a bad pickup, and we'll talk about the banner in a moment. I guess I'll lay out some scenarios if you should chase for him or not. His EX has repeated before, so if you do have it, then there's other banners. Again, I'm going off track. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, his EX weapon, EX Plus, I was just looking at it. His 0 out of 3 is actually it's stacked because it delivers damage twice. Usually with these, you don't see these until at least 3 out of 3, and in here it's just more brave hits delivered twice again. So if you're hurting on ingots, especially because we're getting some new units on the horizon, and if you want to save your ingots for them, I could potentially see you guys skimping out on this and leaving it at 0 out of 3. But if you want events, I would invest, I would say at least 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3 is going to be doing max damage. That's ideal, so to say, but just the fact that this is stacked at 0 out of 3, I am liking this. If other units are going to be dishing out more the damage, if he's going to be getting carried, 0 out of 3 if you want him to do the damage, at least 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3 ideally. Alright guys, now if you do happen to max him out, his bonus sphere, he has an E-type bonus sphere. After inflicting a debuff, he will raise melee attack by 15%, which is good. Anything above 10%, 15% or higher to any form of like attack or magic attack, range attack, that's good in my eyes. So if you want to give this on him or some other melee attacker that inflicts some form of debuff, they will greatly benefit from this bonus sphere on them. Or even magic. No, I'm sorry. It's melee attack. It's locked behind melee damage. All right, friends. So now, time to take a look at the banners. Okay. Now going forward, this is how these banners will go down until it will change. So right now, what you're seeing, there's 2 banners for Squall. There's the LD and Burst with other units on here. There will be a point where it's going to change, where one banner will have the LD and Burst, and the other banner will only have said character's Burst weapon with another character's LD. Pay close attention, friends, because that actually happened, I believe, what was it, with the Arden and Renoa. When Arden debuted, the second banner did not have Arden's LD. It was Renoa's LD. Same thing with Ramza and Machina. When Machina, his LD repeated and Ramza got his burst, the second banner did not have Ramza's LD weapon. So keep a close eye on that, friends. Don't accidentally go on the second banner thinking the LD is on there. In actuality, when it's on the first banner. But in this case, it's on both banners. Now, if you were to go on either of these banners, I would probably say, if you're taking the challenge stage into consideration, I would probably go in on this banner because Cait Sith is on here, especially if you didn't pull his EX weapon from before, because challenge stages are a new type of stage that we will be receiving. Compare it to it's a chaos level difficulty stage. Only synergy characters are allowed to go, and you cannot bring a friend support. So it's almost like a Dimensions End stage difficulty stage, but only with synergy characters, as you guys see. So all these units on these banners, they're on here, but Cait Sith has healing built into his kit. It's not the most potent healing, but it's healing. But if you don't happen to pick up Cait Sith, you could take Alexander, which we just got, which could give you some healing, some HP healing to survive said stage, because once you complete it, once you beat the stage, you will get 1 burst medal, which once you collect 50, you can trade for a burst weapon of your choice. Now, if you don't give a damn about either one of these, I like this banner because of Orin. And Orin is just going to increase Squall's damage potential because of that melee resist down. Now, LD wise, this, in my opinion, again, this is the banner to go on. If you don't have Cait Sith, maybe pick up this one just so you can take on the challenge stage. But I like this banner for his LD. You could potentially pick up his burst here. Now, when it comes to his burst weapon, I'll probably do these going forward with other burst units. I'll make it prettier, I promise. This is just temporary for this one video until after my move. I'm going to be talking about which banner I believe is the best weapon to pick up their burst on, because once a burst weapon debuts, said character will be synergy for that event that's going on, plus I believe it's at least 2 or 3 after. So in this case, Squall will be synergy for Garland's event, where Garland gets an LD weapon, and hopefully I'm saying this right, Leon, Amy, right here. I've been told a few times how to actually pronounce her name. I never knew how to say her name. I always called her Emedet Lion. Emedet Leon. We're calling her Amy going forward. And so Squall is synergy on Amy's event, but as you guys can see, it's only his burst weapon. Same thing here with Garland and Amy's LD weapon. So if you happen to pick up his LD weapon early here, but you still want to chase for his burst weapon, I would highly recommend you go on this banner, because Amy is a very good unit. Now Garland, same concept with his LD weapon, it just lets him dish out that much more damage. With Amy, she has a lot more team utility, because with her LD weapon, she can delete all the enemy's turns. She doesn't delay them, she deletes their turn from the actual timeline. So again, if you happen to pick up Squall's LD weapon early, this, in my opinion, is the banner to go on if you want to chase for Squall's Burst. Now, do I think you guys should be chasing for Squall's Burst? Honestly, no, unless he is your favorite. The LD weapon is where it's at. We are getting some very powerful units within the next few months. Like we got Noctis on the horizon, we got Arden. Noctis, I believe, is the unit to chase the burst weapon during this few months time frame, so to say, at least until lightning. But I mean, if you're gonna go for him, hey, awesome. As you guys saw, take advantage of that extra 50% HP damage towards the if you do AoE attacks, that's gonna help out AoE damagers that much more, especially if you pair Orin with him. All right, friends. So again, LD weapon, this is the banner to go for on. If you're gonna be chasing his burst, you get his LD weapon early. This is the banner to go for on. Now, it's kind of a little bit harder to do a peek into the future because on the JP side of the game, not a lot of these weapons have repeated yet, except some of these were reran only because of, you know, the global pandemic that's happening at the world at the time of making this video. They couldn't make new content, so they did run some events. So Squall's burst weapon was repeated on there. Is it possible global might rerun something like that? It is possible. We don't know what they're going to be doing, but there is a start dash campaign later down the line that has Squall's, Clouds, and Lightning's LD and burst weapons. Now do keep in mind, it's like, hey, I'm just gonna wait until then, because that is when Squall gets his rework and something called LD nodes to his enhancement boards, because at some point actually it happened when Ramza got his LD and burst, Machina got LD nodes on the enhancement boards, and that really improves a character's damage. What that does for Squall is his rough divide is repeated every single time he attacks, and it gives him HP damage up, which heavily increases his damage potential, and he gets a rework. Unfortunately, we did not get a rework here. Would that have improved Squall? Oh yeah, much more, of course, definitely. And any time one character gets a rework, they always improve. But don't get confused, friends, because some players may get confused, like, hey, where's all the damage? Where's that amazing Squall? He doesn't get it until that's when he gets his LD nodes with the HP damage up and the rough divide follow up. That's when he gets strong. But I would say don't wait until this banner to chase for Squall, because if you're a free to play unit and RNG is not on your side, there's a chance you might pick up Cloud or Lightning's gear instead of Squall. It's a possibility. All right, friends. So try to pick up his LD here if you can. At least maybe 200 tickets if you pick up his burst weapon in the process. Awesome, amazing. But at least try to get his LD weapon, especially because he's going to be synergy for these other events. That lets you another unit you don't have to worry about for the challenge dates. All right, friends. So again, friends, going forward, I will improve this. This is just temporary. I apologize. I'm tired. I did want to do this before tomorrow, because tomorrow, the following day, is going to be a lot busy for me. Hopefully I can record my polls for this. I guess my plans is that the hype did get to me. I know in my recent video I did say I was going to chase after Noctis and Arden. I think I'm going to swap it around. I think I'm going to use tickets on Arden's banner, and I think I am going to go for Squall. I'm going to go ham with the gens just because the hype. I want to do things differently on the global side of the game. I do like doing things differently. I do have Squall on the JP side, but I didn't really use him a lot during the beginning. So I'm probably going to switch that up and just enjoy him a lot more on the global side. All right, friends. So again, next time I will improve this. Me personally, I'm going to go for Squall. And if I can't put up my video of tomorrow, my chase, that's because it's the day before the move. I'm packing, so I will hopefully get it out sometime this weekend in my non-painted room. I'm supposed to be painting it, and where I will be streaming, and you guys will be seeing my videos. All right, friends, so let me know down below in the comments your guys' personal plans, all right, on this banner. Or are you guys skipping? Are you guys going for Squall's LD weapon? Even let me know which banner are you guys going to chase on, or which banner are you guys going to chase his LD on, or which banner you guys are going to chase his burst on. All right, friends. So again, down below in the comments, let me know what you guys think. And until next time, friends, first of all, thank you guys. I appreciate the love and support. And until next time, friends, good luck and have a good one.